Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another spicy episode of the Sanity stream with Lucius Cole. If you like this type of content, go down below, like, subscribe, share, and of course leave a comment if you think I deserve it. The Cole Factory and the Cole Train on our way to 1,000 Patriots strong, thanks to people like you watching content like this. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into today's show. First thing we're going to be talking about is the absolute absurdity happening in the United States of America. And let's be honest, not just the United States of America, but the entire Western world. A total assault on small business. And most people think, oh, it's just the owner. You know, they got the insurance, they got the money, they got everything they need. I want you to think about a small business. Maybe it's a pub, maybe it's a restaurant, maybe it's a small clothing store, whatever it is, guys. Whatever it is. You are not only attacking the small business owner, you're also attacking the workers. Those workers, usually 20 plus people inside of a business, no longer receiving a paycheck. Now they have to go and get food stamps. Now they have to go and get unemployment. And now you are continually sucking on the government's tit while you are trying to stop people from going into a business while multinational corporations are able to basically do whatever they want wholesale. People are parked in like sardines on these airliners. You see people at Walmart, Costco, Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, all of the major chains not affected whatsoever. And yet, here we are having small businesses shut down because they aren't deemed essential. I'm sorry. I thought putting food on my table, I thought providing for my family, I thought garnering taxes for the state, by the way, was essential. But apparently not. Apparently all animals are equal, guys, but some are more equal than others. A great Animal Farm reference. With that said, take a look at this guy just laying it out all for us to see.
All right, I'm out here in front of Max Public House, 130 Lincoln Avenue, being raided by the fucking sheriff's department, okay? This tiny little place trying to make a fucking living, okay? 350 people on an airplane, thousands of planes, okay? This close to each other. Costco's open, Home Depot, people lined up, backed up with each other. This guy can't open his fucking business. It's shame on you fucking people. Shame on everybody for letting this fucking happen. There should be 1,000 people out here right now when they're getting fucking raided by the goddamn Gestapo. Tomorrow is Wednesday at 6 o'clock p.m. I want this fucking street shut down with 10,000 fucking people. Because if we don't show up and show fucking face, we're going to lose this whole fucking battle. Disgusting. You should all be fucking disgusted with yourselves. If they fear you, they won't fuck with you. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. We have been too nice. And honestly, I think we are moving closer and closer to civil war at this point. There is an absolute differential in terms of the way that small businesses are being conducted in terms of law, and the same thing that's happening with big business. Big business is able to do basically whatever they want with impunity. They're able to make their sales. They're able to continually stay open. They don't have very little mandates. They don't have population control about how many people are allowed inside of their business. And yet these small businesses, and particularly, like, look at airplanes. How are airplanes allowed to be used right now, given that they are basically pushing people together like sardines? And I understand. I mean, for me, I believe everything should be open. Everything. Why is there one rule for some people and another rule for another? We're not even looking to have special or preferable treatment. We just want the same protections under the law. It is absolutely absurd that we've gotten to this point. And of course, fraud, elections, everything in between, guys. It seems like we are in a continual battle for not only the hearts and minds of America, but just the republic in general at this point. The theft, the fraud of this election has become so brazen. Take a look what I'm talking about here. And for the record, guys, the UPS is not supposed to be carrying ballots. It's the USPS. The UPS is a private company. Is UPS supposed to carry official election material? Because I and 3 Dominion Watch volunteers saw a UPS truck picking up a ballot of boxes marked official absentee from the Secretary of State's warehouse. So, of course, they show up. Just here to watch. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. You know, don't worry about the fraud, guys. We're just going to block you out the same way that you guys got blocked out by not allowing people to verify the signatures and verify the ballots in places like Milwaukee, in places like Detroit, Philadelphia. No, guys, nothing to see here, okay? Nothing to see here. We're just stealing an election. We're just stealing an election, guys. It's no big deal. Relax. Relax, guys. And of course, for those of you who haven't heard, it is truly mind-fucking. It is unfucking believable what is going on in terms of Bill Barr. Everything that led up to this, everything with Hillary Clinton's emails on a private server, nothing happened. Everything that happened in Libya, nothing happened. Everything in terms of Hunter Biden with little children, including Joe Biden's granddaughter, by the way, for those of you who don't know. Absolutely disgusting. And on top of that, massive use of drugs, while his father also was the one that pushed the crime bill that put black men disproportionately into prison, further destroying the black family and white families as well. You know, equal opportunity, guys. We're all about equal opportunity when it comes to going to prison, at least for the deep state. Now, Bill Barr made a comment stating that there wasn't enough election fraud to change the ultimate outcome of the election. But within that, I mean, this is true lawyer speak at a fundamental level, because what he's saying is there's fraud, but we haven't uncovered enough. So there is fraud, but not quite enough. Okay. Guys, I don't understand, especially the Q guys, and I'm starting to lose some respect for you guys at this point. And you know, I was never the type of person to say, you know, the left eats their own, and it is true, the right do eat their own as well. But I think it comes along the lines of less in terms of disagreeing in terms of policy. You know, we can agree or disagree about whether or not a certain foreign policy works, or whether or not a certain economic model works, or whether or not you're pro-immigration or against immigration. Those can be debated. But what can't be debated is lying and not telling the truth and being disingenuous and doing the same thing the mega media millionaire and billionaire class do to basically push USSR style propaganda onto the American people. So stop saying that Bill Barr is going to be the one to save us, that Durham is going to be the one to save us, that Sessions is going to be the one to save us. It's total bullshit. Bill Barr, just like John Edwards on SCOTUS, were both brought up through the Bush era. Bush era Republicans, they're very happy-go-lucky with the Obamas right now. I don't know if you've seen that. Bill Barr falls in line with the exact same people. So don't expect him to do anything. They didn't do anything in terms of Christopher Wray and the FBI with the Hunter Biden laptop and the hard drive. Do you really expect them to lay a finger on this election? Because I certainly don't. So stop with the disinformation. It's absolutely absurd. It really is. It's gotten to the point, and I hate to harp on this, but it's gotten to the point that I'm watching people on the right do the same mental gymnastics, twist themselves into a pretzel, just like the left does, in order to try to mind melt themselves into a certain position. This is what we're getting to. It's like, oh, no. Okay, it wasn't Sessions. Sessions, you see, that was fake. That was used as misinformation so the enemy didn't know, okay? Now it's like, no. Now it's Durham. Durham's going to do it, right? Right before the election, he's going to drop a bomb on Joe Biden, and next thing you know, Joe Biden is going to be doing the perp walk. He is going to be in prison, taking money from Ukraine, taking money from China, taking money from Kyrgyzstan. We're going to get Joe Biden. No? Okay. Not putting the report out yet. Interesting. Okay, what about Bill Barr? Bill Barr. No, Bill Barr, guys. Bill Barr is the one that is going to save us. The Q movement is going strong, guys. We know this. Come on. Come on, guys. You know it's Bill Barr is going to go in. He is going to take down the Joe Biden presidency. He's going to make sure that Donald Trump gets 4 more years. No. It's all a lie, guys. It's all a lie. Stop twisting yourselves into pretzels to try to basically discover the fact that Donald Trump doesn't have many friends in government. It's not really that big of a surprise. He was a true outsider. It's absolutely insane that it took a multi-billionaire just to get in there. That's how much power he needed to wield in order to break into the swamp. Just to get his foot into the door, he had to be a multi-billionaire, charismatic, charming, a populist, one who spoke to the people. None of that matters. What mattered was he had money and he had connections, and the people liked him and voted for him. Now we're compromised. And Bill Barr putting out that statement. Of course, the media absolutely runs with it. Here's a statement from Trump's legal team. With all due respect to Attorney General, there hasn't been any semblance of a Department of Justice investigation. We have gathered ample evidence of illegal voting in at least 6 states, which they have not examined. With many witnesses swearing under oath they saw crimes being committed in connection with voter fraud. As far as we know, not a single one have been interviewed by the DOJ. The Justice Department also hasn't audited any voting machines or used their subpoena powers to determine the truth. Exactly! They haven't done jack shit! They haven't done anything! The DOJ and the FBI did nothing against Hunter Biden. And that was plain in the world to see. There was no misinterpreting any of this. There was drugs. There was underage kids. There was audio recordings of him saying that he had connections to the CCP and was talking to the top spy advisor. And you expect them to do something about this election? If they were going to do something, they would have done it before the election. They had everything they needed with Hunter Biden to take down the entire Biden dynasty. And they didn't do a damn thing. So stop lying to yourself. For those people, stop lying to yourself thinking that Barr's going to do something. He's not. Nonetheless, we will continue to pursue the truth through the judicial system and state legislature and continue towards the Constitution's mandate and ensuring that every legal vote is counted and every illegal vote is not. Again, with the greatest respect to the attorney. Screw the respect. I'm done with the respect. I'm done with the decorum. I'm done with the being nice. It's over. It's over. It's done. And this is the thing. I'm starting to get to the point that I feel as if we have to burn it to the ground, metaphorically. Maybe even, well, can't say that. Maybe on Odyssey. I believe we're getting to the point where we need to burn this thing to the ground in order to rise like a phoenix. And unfortunately, that may actually mean allowing it. I'm still holding out hope that Trump wins, but under the assumption that he does not, I believe that we need to burn this entire house to the ground so that we can rise like a phoenix. Because this Republican Party, with the current rhino system going on, there is no way, there is no freaking way that this Republican Party will ever win another election again. After everything that they've done to Donald Trump, after everything they've done to our supporters, to his supporters, to us, do they really think they can go back to the McCain and Romney era, the Paul Ryan era? I don't think so. Now, of course, there are, Matt Gaetz, Rand Paul. There are a few gems in there, but it's very few and far between. Most of these people simply toe the party line, and if they are not actively actually going against the president, They're doing everything in their power to hinder him through the legal process. And we're done. We're done with this. We're done with the rhinos. And like I said, and that's why Donald Trump is saying to support the people that are going on in Georgia right now in terms of the runoff. I'm starting to wonder myself, and this is why I get comments, hey, have you been infiltrated? I honestly, I've been listening to a lot of Anomaly. I've been listening to a lot of Nick Fuentes, and you can't say those guys aren't patriots because they are, almost to the point of a little bit scary. Um, but at this point, guys, does it not make sense to burn it to the ground? And the only thing that kind of hinders me back from going to that full on point is that the Democrats would then fill the Supreme Court. They would then make Guam, DC, and Puerto Rico all states, which would mean the Republicans would basically never win. But the way I'm looking at it is let's stop looking in terms of 4 years. Let's start looking in terms of 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Let's talk about long term, like Jacksonian level change, where for 40 plus years, an entire movement basically allowed them to run full sail and take over the United States of America and push their political aspirations. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think we should burn it to the ground, or do you think we should keep working with these rhinos? Now, for those of you who haven't seen this tweet, this is from President Donald Trump. It reads as Section 230, which is the liability shielding gift from the U.S. to big tech, the only companies in America that have it, corporate welfare, is a serious threat to our national security and election integrity. Our country can never be safe and secure if we allow it to stand. Therefore, if the very dangerous and unfair Section 230 is not completely terminated as part of the National Defense Authorization Act, I will be forced to unequivocally veto the bill, which, when sent to the very beautiful, resolute desk, take back America now. Thank you. And this was a huge part of this entire election. There was a recent poll that popped up stating that if more people knew about the Hunter Biden fiasco, they wouldn't have voted for Joe Biden. Now, these were small percentile changes, I believe between 3 and 5%, but that 3 and 5% margin would have been enough to push Donald Trump over in order to win the election. Now, that's assuming there wasn't even more fraud that is being tallied up at this point. So, again, even if that was the case, I have no faith in this election process anymore. Honestly, after this election, I may never vote again. And that's why and I say this every episode, guys, we need to be the ones in there. And this is the thing. If you're going to follow the rules, and this is all we're asking for, is following the rules. If we're going to follow the rules, unlike the Democrats and unlike the radical left and unlike these foreign powers that are trying to get into our country and absolutely uproot it from within, Soros, Bill Gates, to name a few, if we're going to follow the rules and they're not, then we must enforce the rules. And that's why we need to be the ones in terms of running the elections. We need to be the ones who are the senators. We need to be the ones who are in the House. We need to be the ones who are in the state legislatures. We need to be the ones in the state houses. We need to be the governors. We need to be the mayors. We need to be the presidents. We need to be the ones in power. Because, again, and I say it over and over again, these people are subpar at best. They can barely carry their own water. They're easily corrupted. Just one lobbyist, one juicy dollar, one free house, one nice mansion, one great real estate, one great deal, one great piece of insider information that line their pockets. Why is it all of these people that come into government suddenly become millionaires? How is it they go to a position where they're lucky if they can even crack 100K a year, and all of a sudden they have millions and millions of dollars in the bank? Hello? And that's why, like I said, like whether you're a blue collar worker, a white collar worker, maybe you're an IT, maybe you're a plumber, maybe you're a tradesman, maybe you're whatever. I don't care what you are. I don't even care if you have a high school diploma at this point. Do you love this country? Have you read the Constitution? Do you support it? Have you read the Bill of Rights? Do you support it? Have you read the Declaration of Independence? Have you read the Magna Carta? That's really all I care about. Follow the Constitution. Follow the law. We need to get in there, guys. In terms of Section 230, though, just to go back to it real briefly, we can't remove Section 230. If we remove Section 230, we can't talk at all. Um, Section 230 needs an amendment. It needs a change. There needs to be a internet bill of rights, so to speak, in America. That's what I believe is the future. We need an internet bill of rights, which states that we are protected under the same rights of the Constitution on the web. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, guys, technology is the future. And whether or not you want to engage in it or not, this is how word is spread. This is how Donald Trump won the first time. I don't know. I don't know. Now, here we have Brandon Straka doing a fantastic job talking about the fraud going on in this election, and furthermore, talking about these rhinos that I continually point out over and over and over again, Republican in name only. Let's take a look. This is the guy who is the founder of the Walkaway movement. Check it out. It's hashtag Walkaway. For those of you who were ever on the left and have now come to the right, feel free to share your story. It's on hashtag Walkaway. And they also have an additional one. It's called Walk With, which is basically those who have always been on the right who are welcoming people from the left who have finally seen the light. Take a look.
This outcry of being concerned about violence, of being concerned about intimidation, when the violence and intimidation was and has been and still is being directed toward witnesses that are coming forward and saying, look, I saw with my own eyes fraud. I saw with my own eyes thousands of ballots coming in the back door. I saw with my own eyes ballots that were pristinely filled out only for Joe Biden that had no signature that we could match to them, no envelope that we could find for them. These people are being threatened too. And in fact, in some certain states, we've seen some people willing to come. I believe it was in Michigan where they decided to certify the results and then finally stepped up and said, look, no, we were bullied and coerced and threatened into making this decision.
This has been 9 months of this stuff. Burning, looting, and murdering since the start of George Floyd. Antifa going down the streets, smashing windows, burning buildings, killing up 30 plus people dead since the start of George Floyd. And by the way, now that the election's over, you've seen kind of the tensions going down. Now, of course, Antifa still doing their masquerading LARPing. Specifically, moreover, in the Pacific Northwest, which has become a total hellhole in a handbasket. But where's Black Lives Matter? Where's Black Lives Matter, guys? They were at the forefront of every single day. And it's like every 4 years they just disappear. Because they are useful idiots for the left to push an agenda. And the moment they are no longer needed, they take in all those juicy dollars from all those white liberals, and then they just disappear into the ether. Where did all that money go, by the way? Can somebody answer that for me? I can never get a straight question from a leftist. Where did all that money go for Black Lives Matter? Where did it go? Did it go to help youth? Did it go in after-school programs for youth, particularly those without fathers, fatherless homes? Have a male influence in their life so they don't turn to violence? No? Anything? Nothing? Okay. Okay. And this is kind of like where I see the United States going. This is from the New Yorker. Now, I don't believe this is actually from the New Yorker, but this is like, take a look at this image here. What this image is highlighting is the average woman of today, the average woman of yesteryear, and how this is suddenly becoming the normal. Take a look at everything. So take a look at the background. You got everything. You got dishes all lined up in the sink. You got the 3 wine bottles sitting on top. You got her sipping the martini glass. She's got the pills sitting there with the Chinese food, not even cooking her own food. She's got all the books stacked up, trying to look all professional and stuff, sitting in front of her laptop, maybe talking to somebody on a webcam. She's got that little blind there so nobody can see what's going on in the background. You know, again, she's got the gloves on the floor, the lotion, food everywhere, bags, 2 cats, the hot Cheetos on the floor. I mean, this is she even has the hoop earrings, guys. Bigger though, the bigger the hoe, right? I don't know. This is where we're heading towards. This is like a matrix that's being created. Everything that's happening is online. You know, you can go out in the middle of nowhere basically at this point. You don't have to live in the big cities anymore. You can live at home, live on your computer, and believe me, I can relate to this, but I do, I have a family, I try to experience life, where I can, communicate with your loved ones. If you haven't done that, give your mother or your father a call right now. Let them know how much you love them, how much you care about them. If you still have them, maybe call a sibling or a friend. This is where we're going to. Basically, social isolation, removing people from connecting with their neighbors so that the state can come in and take total control of your life. You already see the useful idiots going around saying, "You're not wearing a mask. Oh, I'm going to tell on you. Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go after law and police." I mean, you already see what's going on in the UK. Police officers basically just brazenly walking into people's homes. Australia, total lockdown central. And now we have the US basically following in their footsteps. The Great Reset happening. They'll push something along the lines of capitalism must change. And the way we're going to do that is through a thing like equitable capitalism. Equitable capitalism, guys. It sounds so much fairer, okay? Everyone gets a fair shake, guys. Equitable capitalism. And what equitable capitalism is communism. It's communism. Sorry. And you'll see this a lot in terms of totalitarian states. They put their name as the Democratic Republic of North Korea, right? They put Democrat in their name, they put Republic in their name, because to the left, words don't actually have meaning. Men can be women, women can be men, you can be a they, you can be a zer, you can be a this, you can be a that, you can be a fat, if Joe Biden was telling it. I don't know. This is the degradation of a society. And furthering the degradation of society, Cernovich points out a bill that is being pushed on the Senate floor right now, a bill to amend the Immigration and Nationality Act to eliminate the per-country numerical limitation for employment-based immigrants, meaning your jobs are going to be going to Indians, your jobs are going to be going to Chinese, your jobs are going to be going to Mexicans and Canadians. And again, I have no problems with those countries or those people, but in the United States of America, I don't know if you see the unemployment rate now. Absolutely absurd given the amount of lockdowns. And of course, we're going to give those jobs to low-wage immigrants who we're going to pay way less, not give any health coverage whatsoever, not give any incentives, and we're going to give them your jobs. That's what's going to happen. And when you try to fight against this, what we're going to do is we're going to call you a racist. We're going to call you a white supremacist. I could give a crap less if it goes to a black, brown, white, whatever. That doesn't matter to me. What I care about is that job goes to an American. They're tearing this country apart. They are tearing this country apart. We do have some people fighting back. Guys, I'm not a huge fan of the Daily Wire. Candace Owens recently hopping on the Ben Shapiro team. But Candace Owens to sue Facebook fact checker for censoring her videos. Guys, this is the way forward. And honestly, this is the only way forward, is through litigation. It's through law. That is the only way these things are going to change. We can do our rah-rah, we can do our rallies, we can do this, we can do that. At the end of the day, it's going to come down to the law. It's going to come down to having the right people in levels of power in government. That's the only two ways we're going to win this war, other than basically the red button option. And I think you guys know what that means. The only way we win is by having the law on our side and by being the people that interpret the law. So, again, I think I'm going to make this basically nearly the end of every video. Do yourself a favor and find out whether you're retired, maybe you work a small-time job, maybe you're a tradesman, maybe you're white collar, I don't care what you are. Again, I don't even care if you have a high school diploma. Do you love the Constitution? Do you love this country? Do you love the Bill of Rights? Have you read the Magna Carta? Are you America first? If so, find out whether it's a big position like a mayor, a governor, a president, a congressman, or a smaller position, whether it's your state senate or state house, whether it's a small position like pest control or parks and recreation, whatever it is. Find a position and get yourself on that ballot, because patriots like us are going to have to be the ones to change things, because the people that are doing it now will sell us out like they always do. If you enjoy this type of content, my name is Lucius Cole. Go down below, like, subscribe, share. This is the Sanity stream. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Longer one, guys. You know, I'm reaching. Once we hit to 1,000 Patriots, I'm thinking about start doing this on a live stream. With that said, thanks for sticking by. I love you guys so very much, and I love this country. I'll see you guys on the next one. Love ya. Peace. Coltrane. Choo choo!